Hi guys, welcome back. Today's problem is 1225, report contiguous dates. Question is asked by Facebook before, and we have a fail table with fail date is a primary key, and we have a succeeded table with success date. And so a system is running one task every day. Every task is independent of previous tasks, so the task can fail or succeed. Write a solution to report period state for each continuous interval of days in the period from 2019 101 to 2019 1231. So just the year of 2019. Period state is failed if task is in this interval fail, or succeed if task is in this interval succeeded. Interval of days are retrieved as start date and end date. Return the result table order by start date. Okay, here's an example with field date 2018. Obviously, we have to filter these out, and we get a block of 4 and 5 over here, and then there's a seat table. Again, this has some 2018 and 2019, and then January 1st and 2nd are one block, and from the 1 to 3, so 1 to 1st to 3rd are one block, and then just one day is number 6. So as I just said that. Okay, so it's a couple of ways. Well, there's a couple of ways to first of all, I can think of a couple of ways to do it is we can treat one table first, so just the fail or the succeed table first, and then replicate to the other one. So then we have to do a union. We don't have to do a union all in this one because all of the date are exclusive. So if if it failed, then it couldn't be succeed, so it won't show up on succeed. Yeah, and then the next is I'm going to block these into like a little block, and give it like a little order, right? So when we do, if we have that one block, so for example, if this has this share one number, I could do a minimum as a start date and a maximum as an end date within that number. But how do I get to that number? Actually, there is a technique that I learned from. Actually, I learned it from an interview before. Is if I have a sequence. So if I do a dense rank, it will rank this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and continuously, right? And if I have a share a same block date type of deal, so let's say if I if I use this date and minus that dense rank, so 2019 minus 1, this would result in 2018 12/31st, and then January 2nd and minus 2 is still going to be 2018 December 31st, right? And so continue on. It will give me this 3-day as 2018 12/31st. So let's dive in and see what I'm talking about, obviously. So select, I'm gonna work on this seated table first since it has 2 blocks of date, so then I can test my theory out. Instead of a failed table, only have like 1 block is for the 4th and the 5th. So select period. So select, jeez, somebody's going crazy out there. Okay, success date. And then do a success date minus a then rank, oopsie, over and order by success date I'm gonna call this block, date block. So it's gonna result in a date. Oh yeah, guard date block from, let's try this aesthetic thing from succeeded table, date table. Obviously get rid of the 2018, so where's the set date in between 2019, 101 and 2019, 12/31st. Okay, so let's run this and visualize what I was saying before. Taking a little longer and chill. Funny how only one column can give me so crazy transformation out here. Okay, so like I said, this thing going to be a block and this thing going to be a block. It's just a date. That doesn't mean anything, but now if I use this in a dense rank, this going to result in number 1 and this going to be number 2 and so on. And I can use it so now I can just use this one, right, as a group by function and using the minimum and the maximum to get the NJ. So let's see, I'm gonna put this in a CTE as so select, remember we have a period state. I'm gonna call it succeed, did as a period state. I'm going to use minimum success date as the start date, and then I'm going to use the maximum success date as the end date from CTE. And since we're using a min or max, we're going to use group by. Obviously, we're going to use that date block. So we're going to use group by date block. Okay, so let's run this thing. Voila. So now we have this seated one, obviously get rid of this 0. And so we're going to do to char, open this up, and give it a format. That's a start date and to char. That's the end date. Again, give it a format. A month, date, close it up. Let's give this group by date block. Okay, cool. So now we have this one. We want to do the failed one as well. And so if you watched my earlier video, I don't recommend writing, copy and paste, basically. But let's just do it for this case because I don't want to type. And I'm going to cut out. I'm going to do this just because. So now we want fail date over here. There's no ED. Same thing with by fail date. From fail table where fail date is in between. So now I have CTE number 2, and this thing I'm going to union it with this one, so we're going to call it fail. Again, I'm going to change this here. Just to reiterate, when you do an interview, doing a copy and paste like this is very easy for you to miss something. And group, obviously the interviewer won't catch nitpick, but in this case, I'm going to group by date block. And remember, it was asking for a return the table order by start date, and when you do a union order by, always at the bottom query, order by start date. Okay, so that should work. So CTE 1 date block. Okay. See, it runs, guys. Okay, now we are going to submit it. Yay! Well, hopefully you learned something new today. There are a few techniques that you should have in your back pocket, and date block is one of those. Anyway, I have fun doing these problems, and I hope you do too. Until next time, goodbye.